Alright, what's going on, guys? I can't even believe what we're gonna be discussing today. This is just wild, man. So, you guys know how some girls be having these premium Snapchats? Well, I say girls, but I guess guys can have a premium Snapchat as well. You know, we all about that equality, but for the most part, I would say the premium Snapchat industry is primarily dominated by females. Now, if you didn't know how a premium Snapchat works, well, basically, from what I've heard, at least, you know, I don't have any personal experience or anything. I would never participate in such activities, but it's just like a normal Snapchat, except you have to pay money to have access to it. Now, the prices may vary, you know, it really just depends on the girl. It could be as little as $15 and it could be as high as $150. I don't know, you know, it just really depends on the girl. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, why exactly would I pay $100 to see some girl's Snapchat, right? What exactly am I paying for? Well, that also depends on the girl, but I'm pretty sure at the very least, you're gonna be seeing some titties and probably some ass thrown in there as well. That's the minimum. Now, obviously, some girls out there be going wild, I'm sure. You know, they be getting into all sorts of stuff on the premium Snap. But at the very minimum, I just can't imagine people paying money for anything less than that. Maybe there are some girls out there that do even less than that, I don't know, but bottom line is, apparently, these females are out here cashing out, which makes sense. You know, there's a lot of horny motherfuckers out there in the world. I can see how they are making money. There's a lot of available clients out there, and let me just say, there's nothing really wrong with what they're doing. I might make fun of it a little bit or whatever, but I mean, there's nothing really wrong with what they're doing. It's supply and demand, simple economics. You know, there's a lot of demand out there for what they have to supply, so they're simply filling the void, right? So it makes sense. However, there has been a revelation. I don't know how nobody thought of this aspect of it before, but people have apparently started reporting these girls to the IRS. Now, as you can imagine, upon hearing this news, these women were not very happy about it. But real quick, just to clarify for everyone, just in case, you know, you've never paid taxes before or you don't have very much experience or whatever, basically the way it works is every dollar that you earn is supposed to be reported to the government. Now, actually, I will say, you know, I'm not a tax professional or anything, but there is actually a minimum amount that you do have to earn. But pretty much if you have a job, you're going to hit that minimum amount. But the government wants to know about every single dollar that you earn so that they can take their share of the taxes from it, right? The government don't fuck around when it comes to taxes. They want their money. It doesn't matter what your job is, you still got to report it. Now, if you have like a more normal job with a big company or whatever, your income's going to get reported automatically by your employer. They're more responsible for doing that than you are personally. However, if you run a business and you're technically self-employed like these women are doing. I mean, it sounds kind of weird, but technically, I guess a premium Snap is a business, right? There's not really anyone to hold you accountable but yourself. Like, the government is not gonna know that some random girl on Twitter is making thousands of dollars off of her premium Snap, right? How are they gonna find out about that? So, legally, the girl herself is responsible for reporting it for tax purposes. Now, obviously, these girls ain't reporting shit. Like, let's be real. They just sitting here with the titties out, ass on the sink, you know, lifted up, taking the pic, and they watching the money flow into their account. That's what they're doing. Now, I don't want to assume anything about these women. You know, I'm sure some of them are intelligent. I'm sure they're very nice people. I'm going to imagine that some of these girls probably didn't even realize what they were doing wrong. Maybe some of them did, and they purposely don't want to report their income. You know, that's definitely a possibility as well. However, either way, ignorance of the law is not an excuse, right? The government don't give a fuck if you didn't know that you were supposed to report it. They still coming for their funds, you know what I mean? They want that cash. So what people have been doing is going to the IRS website and filing a report on these women, right? Basically snitching, okay? Let's just call it what it is. All right, we got to be honest. But the craziest part, I think, to me about this whole situation is if the IRS actually uses your information and finds it accurate, they will give you some of the money, which is fucking crazy, right? The IRS whistleblower office pays money to people who blow the whistle on persons who fail to pay the tax that they owe. If the IRS uses information provided by the whistleblower, it can award the whistleblower up to 30% of the additional tax, penalty, and other amounts it collects. So whoever files that report on one of these e-girls, hey, they might get 30% of that tax money that they were supposed to send in, bro. That's pretty crazy, bro. 30%, you know, what's like 1/3 of the money? I mean, hey, that's not bad. So obviously people have been going crazy about this on Twitter, right? Dudes everywhere are like just commenting on these girls' posts like, oh, just reported you to the IRS. And as you can imagine, these girls are getting pissed off. I mean, I don't know why. It's not that big of a deal. Just pay your fucking taxes like everyone else. Like, do you think I'm happy watching 30% of my money disappear every single year in taxes? Like, hell no, bro. That shit is depressing, bro. That shit'll make you sad. But hey, it is what it is, bro. You gotta pay your fucking taxes. Like, you bitches ain't special. Pay your taxes like everyone else. It's not a big deal. But of course, they don't seem to understand that, and they are very upset about this because for some reason they feel it's okay for them to commit tax fraud. So let's just take a look around the internet real quick and see what they got to say for themselves. PSA to all sex workers, dancers, FSSW. I don't know what FSSW is. I just want to point that out. 18 plus Snapchatters. You do not have to pay taxes in the US until you make more than $20,000 a year. Don't worry about incels reporting you to the IRS because they actually can't do anything without digital proof of your income. I don't know what's worse here about this tweet, right? The fact that she was so goddamn confident in tweeting out this blatantly wrong information, or the fact that 8,000 fucking idiots retweeted it thinking that she was right. Like, let me just give you some advice, you know, if I may. Let's maybe try not to get our tax advice from people who sell pictures of their asshole on the internet. That's probably not the best source for your legal tax information. You know, just my 2 cents on the situation, but let's read another one. A bunch of men on Twitter are mad because they believe they're entitled to free nudes, so they're reporting sex workers' Snapchat incomes to the IRS for audits. Despite sex workers paying taxes, despite needing to make $12,000 to report it on taxes, just say you hate women and leave. Well, I got a couple things to address. Once again, number one, let's not get our tax advice from people who sell pictures of their asshole on the internet. Number two, there is plenty of free porn on the internet as well, so it has nothing to do with free nudes. Number three, I don't think expecting you to pay taxes like every single other person in society means that you hate women. Maybe it means that you hate criminals? I don't know, but I feel like, you know, we're just trying to give you the equality that you're always asking for. So apparently, you know, trying to get these women to pay taxes like everyone else means that you hate them, I guess. I don't really understand that. But let's move on. We got one more to read. With all these men harassing us, stalking us, snitching to our families, and reporting us to the cops and the IRS, I'm wondering when sex workers are going to snap and take these fuckers out when we finally have nothing more to lose. Bro, hold on, bro. Sound the alarms, bro. We got a code Eugene on our hands. FBI, hold on. Y'all might want to take a look at this one, bro. I'm gonna have to report this one to the FBI and to the IRS because you seem like a threat, bro. I don't feel safe with you talking like that. Like, I'm just saying, man. I don't know what you mean by, like, when you're gonna snap and take us all out. Like, is that a threat? I don't know, man. Like, FBI, I'm gonna let y'all handle this one. IRS, go ahead and get my 30% from you, though. You know, don't think I forgot about all that. But anyways, I could go on for days, man. I just chose a few of these tweets that stood out to me a little bit. I mean, I'm sure you could see why. But bottom line, I mean, let's wrap this up. Welcome to veteran difficulty. I mean, I'm glad you could join the rest of us in the world in paying your taxes. Like, once again, I don't see how this is really a big deal. Everybody pays taxes, right? You're the ones doing something wrong here by not paying your taxes. And then when people simply just want you to do the right thing, you act as if everyone is like attacking you or something. Like, it doesn't really make any sense. Just pay your fucking taxes, man, and shut up. Continue posting your asshole, or like whatever. No one cares. Just pay your taxes. That's it. You're not a victim. Anyways, that's it for the video, man. It's crazy times we live in, bro. It's crazy, dude. Like, just thinking about the topic that I just made a video on is just mind-blowing to me. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like rating if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are not already. Follow me on Twitter. Links in the description down below. Other than that, have a good day and peace out.
Can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right. It feels right. It feels right. Yeah, I can only say that it feels right.